These actors didn't just risk injuries, they shattered bones, suffered brain trauma, and were left with scars that'll last a lifetime. You won't believe what they went through for just one movie role. When it comes to on-set injuries, Russell Crowe isn't just part of the club, he might as well be running it. Most actors get 1 or 2 injuries over their careers, but Crowe's got a laundry list, and it's a mile long. From multiple shoulder surgeries to torn Achilles tendons to a complete lack of cartilage in his toes, Crowe has seen it all. And of course, Gladiator tops the list of punishment. Crowe once broke down all the injuries he sustained as Maximus: skin discoloration, blown-out knees, scars, back problems, a dislocated rib, and the aforementioned grade 4 Achilles tendon tears, amongst other things. John Wayne's role in this naval drama left him with more than just a paycheck. It left him with a chronic injury. Wayne spent 10 days filming underwater scenes in a massive tank, often submerged up to 20 feet deep. The result? Wayne developed a chronic inner ear condition, possibly barotrauma from the pressure. That, along with the back pain he'd been carrying for years from doing his own stunts, led to Wayne being denied entry into World War II, and it haunted him for the rest of his life. Jackie Chan's broken more bones than most people have bones, but none was as bad as what happened on the set of Armor of God. Chan was doing a fairly standard stunt, jumping from a wall onto a tree branch. The branch snapped, and Chan plummeted headfirst to the ground, cracking his skull open. A fractured piece of bone went straight into his brain, causing internal bleeding and requiring 8 hours of emergency brain surgery. To this day, Chan has a plastic plate in his head and is partially deaf in one ear.
I will never forget, I almost died in Yugoslavia. Zagreb. My God.
You fractured your skull?
Yes, I fractured my skull from 8:30. I fractured my skull from the mountain, moved down for 2 hours. And go to the hospital and injection. After that, they put everything out, move to another hospital. And everybody called, everybody crying, everybody thought I'm dying. This is Jackie's gone. All the blood from my ear in Yugoslavia.
Yeah, my question was...
You wouldn't expect a quiet, introspective film like The Sessions to leave an actor with long-lasting injuries, but that's exactly what happened to John Hawkes. Playing the poet Mark O'Brien, who was paralyzed from the neck down due to polio, Hawkes went all in on his portrayal. To mimic O'Brien's severe spinal curve, Hawkes had the props department create a foam ball to wedge under his back during filming. He called it the torture ball, and it wasn't a joke. By the end of the shoot, his spine was out of whack. Hawkes admitted he'd probably carry that pain for the rest of his life.
I'm no martyr, and I didn't seek out the pain, though I did, insist on finding this device to be able to, with no body double or makeup or computer effects or whatever, to try to really portray this guy. Mm-hmm. I know the pain I felt is minute compared to what many people deal with day to day in their lives, but yeah, it hurt.
Toward the end of Happy Gilmore, there's a scene where Carl Weathers' character takes a nasty fall out a window, and that's where things went wrong. During the stunt, Weathers fell onto bags that weren't properly placed. His head hit one bag while his tailbone slammed against the wall, crunching his spine in the process. It wasn't until years later that Weathers discovered he had fractured 2 vertebrae and developed bone spurs. For 3 or 4 years, he was in excruciating pain, but by the time he saw a surgeon, it was too late to fix. The Exorcist is infamous for its behind-the-scenes chaos, and Ellen was right in the thick of it. During a particularly violent scene, her character gets yanked to the floor by a wire. After the first take, Ellen told director William Friedkin the pull was too harsh and asked for it to be gentler. Friedkin didn't listen. In the next take, the pull was even harder, and the actress went flying, fracturing her tailbone. The scream you hear in the film, that's real. Ellen was in serious pain, but Friedkin used the take anyway. She spent 2 weeks on crutches, but the injury left her with long-term back problems that she still deals with today.
I screamed in horrendous pain. Billy motioned to Owen to tilt the camera down on me. And I saw it, and I was so furious and said, "Turn the effing camera off," because I couldn't stand that he was willing to just get a quick shot of it before they called the ambulance,
The Wizard of Oz was not exactly a safe set for anyone involved, but Buddy Ebsen, who was originally cast as the Tin Man, suffered one of the most permanent injuries, without even making it into the final cut. Ebsen had recorded all his songs and gone through extensive makeup tests, which involved white clown paint dusted with pure aluminum. He kept breathing it in, and eventually it coated his lungs, causing a toxic reaction. One night, he woke up unable to breathe and had to be rushed to the hospital. He was replaced by Jack Haley and spent 8 weeks recovering. Though Ebsen went on to have a successful career, the aluminum dust left him with a lifelong tendency toward bronchitis. Brendan Fraser was the action star of the 2000s, especially with the Mummy franchise, but the physical toll of his stunts nearly wrecked him. From multiple spine surgeries to a partial knee replacement and vocal cord surgery, his body was put through the ringer. Fraser described how, by the time he did the third Mummy movie, he was practically building an exoskeleton for himself every day just to get through the scenes. Those injuries, combined with personal struggles, took Fraser out of the spotlight for years.
You always assume a risk when you take on a film that has as many action elements as this one does. But I think, like every experience, it's been a hard one. It always looks better in the pictures in the end, but you walk away with the best parts of the experience. And I've had a very positive one, a very good one, and a rewarding one. Because I think that nothing comes easy, and if this was easy, everybody would be doing it. So that's why we're here.
Burt Reynolds' career hit a rough patch in the 80s, but what really set him back was an accident on the set of City Heat in 1984. During a fight scene, Reynolds was supposed to get hit over the head with a breakaway chair. Unfortunately, the chair wasn't breakaway. It was metal. Reynolds was hit full force, dislocating his jaw and leaving him with a condition called temporomandibular disorder, TMD. The injury caused severe jaw pain and sensitivity to light and sound, debilitating him for years. In desperation, Reynolds even sawed off all his bottom teeth, hoping it would help. It didn't. Most people know Dick York as the charming husband from Bewitched, but a back injury on set left him with chronic pain that nearly derailed his career. York was filming a scene where he had to propel a handcar, but a cast member added weight to the handle, tearing the muscles in York's back. He powered through the pain with the help of painkillers, but his spine healed incorrectly, causing lifelong issues. York became addicted to painkillers, which eventually led to a seizure on the set of Bewitched. He was hospitalized and replaced on the show, spending 18 months bedridden before kicking the addiction,